Details. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
At 6 minutes after 11 o'clock, thank you for tuning in. I've been doing radio for pretty much most of my working life, but I took 3 years where I wasn't doing radio. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for 3 years. In fact, I've been doing this now for 16 years, right?
Today is your 16-year anniversary for AM Ocala Live.
So for the 3 years prior to me taking this job, I worked at an assisted living facility, and I want to tell you a little bit about that to introduce our next guest to you. When I worked there, there was a lot of people with Alzheimer's. Let me put it to you that way. But there was one lady in particular who would always ask me what time lunch was, and then she would ask me what time is lunch, and then I would tell her, and then she would say, "What time is lunch?" I would say, "Holy mackerel." She would always ask me when lunch is. It turned out she could play piano when she was younger, and she was really good at it. And when I found that out, I said, "Hey, can you remember that song?" And she said, "What song?" And then all she had to do was hear me say, "Can you remember that song?" And she would sit at the piano, and she would play beautifully, play perfectly, and probably play for 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, right? Just a beautiful thing. And it not only calmed her down hearing her own music, but it also calmed down the other people who were there in the same room. It was a big community room. And so it was such a beautiful thing to realize. And you realize when you see something like that, how music makes a difference in the people's lives. Our next guest has discovered this also. In fact, she's won an award. Christina Rodriguez has won the Coors Light Liderer of the Year award, and she happens to be the president and co-founder of Mind and Melody, which does exactly what I was just talking about, improving the quality of life for those experiencing neurological impairments such as Alzheimer's through music. Christina, congratulations. It's an honor to have you on our show. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. And I really love that story that you shared. It's something that I see on a regular basis, and it's amazing to see that magical transformation.
It is. Well, how did you discover? First of all, where are you? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Miami, Florida.
Oh, okay, not too far away. And the Leader of the Year award. How did you find out about this?
So I was actually nominated by Mind and Melody, and the Coors Light Lideres program helps emerging Latino leaders across the country, like myself, who are dedicated to improving their community. The program highlights 12 Latino leaders every year from across the country, and the Lideres participate in a month campaign to raise awareness about the work they're doing. And the leader with the most votes wins the campaign and receives $25,000 for their community program.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Well, congratulations for everything you've just told us. I really love the fact that you have made a connection with how to help people in more ways than we realized with music. Music really does more than we even realize, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's the universal language, and it can reach many brain areas at once and serves as a treasure box for memories.
And I really enjoy the fact that you are an accomplished cellist. I think that is so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that's how my love for music started. You know, I would come home from school and just play for hours and hours and hours, and sometimes I was good, and sometimes, you know, I needed to get my homework done. But it really brought me to a moment where I was present, and I wasn't worrying about time, and I really love that about music.
Why is that particular instrument so beautiful? That's a pretty sounding instrument, isn't it?
So here's a fun fact. It's the instrument that has the closest sound to the human voice.
Oh,
is that right? Is that why we like it so much?
I think so.
Wait a minute. I know a lady who sounds like a trumpet, though, and that is kind of annoying. You're right. Yeah, a soothing voice.
I think what you're doing is just fabulous. You are such an inspiration to others. And it starts when people are younger. Within our own school system, there are different clubs, especially in the high schools, where they volunteer and go out into the community, and they can use those volunteer hours toward their scholarships.
Yeah, absolutely. And also we have a lot of college students that are involved. They get involved because maybe they've had somebody in their family that has experienced Alzheimer's, or they're going into the medical profession and they want to gain that hands-on experience. So it's really great for people of all ages to work with individuals that are aging and that are experiencing these neurological impairments.
So I have a question for you. Do you think that somebody who's advanced in age, in other words, old, do they respond better to melodies that they're familiar with, or would they respond well to like a brand new melody that they've never heard before?
Yeah, so generally we use music that is from the 30s and 70s. So music that they used to listen to when they were in their 20s. Those are songs that are tied to those long-term memories that we remember the most, and some of our happy times. But interestingly enough, we do have some participants we work with where they'll listen to new music and they'll remember that and start dancing to it even though they've never heard it before.
Is that right? You know, Robin and I play music too. Robin plays mandolin and I play accordion, and we're not at your level, just so you know. But I wanted to tell you something that you just reminded me of. On Veterans Day, this subject came up, so if for those listening, you probably just heard us talking about this, but we would play years ago at the nursing homes, and the World War II men would cry when they heard the song Lily Marlene. And it was like this they had a connection to that song. Nowadays, most of those guys are no longer with us. I think enough time has passed that we don't have very many World War II vets still out there. But it was amazing. I used to. In fact, I had a joke before we played. I said, "This next song is going to make you cry if you're a man and you served in World War II." Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you ever had that where like there's one song that kind of identifies a certain?
Absolutely, we have this one participant at one of the hospitals where, she could be angry, she could be crying, whatever it was, but as soon as you started playing Bésame, Bésame Mucho, she would just start like spouching out the words and the song, and it was like nothing had happened. It was just like a light switch, and then she would be calm and she would be happy, and we see that.
Isn't that? I love that. I love that kind of thing. Yeah.
You also are raising awareness on different college campuses by having extensions of your program of Mind and Melody.
Absolutely. We create chapters of our organization, and the students really help to raise awareness about the work we're doing in the community and recruit volunteers, whether they have a music background or not.
That is so cool. So are you doing anything for the Christmas season with your music?
Yes, we'll be incorporating all the famous tunes, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. The Jingle Bells is also a very popular one, and they love all those tunes. You know which one brings the angels out? Is Silent Night. If you just start Silent Night, all the people in the room will start to sing it. You don't have to do anything. You just start it, and they will take it away from there. Right. Absolutely, yeah. I will try that one. You're fun, Christina. Thank you for being on the air. Congratulations on winning. Now, let me ask you if you could talk to the people who maybe are interested in following in your footsteps. What would they do? How do they get into the Coors Light Lideres? What is it? Lideres program? Yeah, so the Coors Light Lideres program actually opens nominations for Lideres in February 2019. So you can visit the website, CoorsLightLideres.com. And I really encourage the listeners to take the time to look around their community and see who is really making a difference and how we can shine the spotlight on their community work to help them continue that momentum that they've started. And I really wish that people really nominate the Lideres in their community so they can have the same opportunity that I just had.
Oh, I got somebody in mind.
Good.
We have our local orchestra. Is it okay if he's a conductor of an orchestra?
Yeah, so anyone from a nonprofit organization is welcome to participate.
Oh, it doesn't have to be musical.
No, it can be any cause.
Oh, okay.
Anything that's really making an impact in the community.
Okay, all right. Now I think I have a couple people in mind with that one. Christina, thank you. The website is CoorsLightLideres.com, correct?
That's correct.
With my crazy accent there. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for...
That was pretty good.
Thank you, Christina. All right, we'll be right back.
The Great American Menu lives at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. Sizzling steak burgers made fresh when you order. Premium beef hot dogs, crispy shoestring fries, and Freddy's rich and creamy custard made